Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our sunset safari live in South Africa. We're in the Eastern Cape, far south in the country, at a beautiful place called Amakhala Game Reserve, and we're very happy that the sun is shining. We've started our afternoon with some black wildebeest on the move in the open clearings right at the bottom of all of the mountains, and we're looking forward to seeing what we can find with the sun shining today. There is one last black wildebeest that's become a bit of a straggler. It looks like a pretty big male. He's standing right at the back still, and he's got some red hartebeest that are keeping him company. He doesn't seem so keen to follow the rest of the family. I'm not sure why. Maybe he feels there are more hartebeest that are all lying down, so that might be a safer option. Maybe he's just lazy. Catherine, I don't really know what the theory is behind why black wildebeest would run away in a straight line, and red hartebeest. In fact, the hartebeest do it more than the wildebeest do. But I don't think it would confuse the predator. That wouldn't make sense to me. Because if you're running away in a straight line, you're separating yourselves and making each target quite clearly known, each individual, as opposed to something like zebras. If you all run together, how do you tell which zebra is which as the predator? How can you lock in on a single target? By walking away or running away in a single file, surely it gives the predator the opportunity to actually look and figure out if anyone's old or injured or sick or young, kind of identifying an easier target. So I personally don't think it would confuse the predators. I think it might make it easier for them. But I don't know what the benefit would be. I've been trying to think about it, and I don't know what the benefit would be of them running away in a single file. It's quite a confusing concept. But I'm definitely going to be doing some more research on that, because it is a fascinating thing. There are very few animals that will ever do that in the bush.
We have found a jackal. Still no spots. But the amazing thing is this jackal will know where the spots are. Positioned in the teeniest, tiniest patch of shade, waiting for a chance to get into that kill. I think it's an impala, but still no sign of spots. 4 of them. So we're going to try and do a loop. As I mentioned earlier, you can off-road here, but maybe if we just sort of skirt around, we might get a gap. We might get an open clearing in the vegetation where we can just see right through, and they will be there. Positive thinking, it always gets you places. It could just be too early, but I've noticed the plains in general in Gorey Plains is not as bountiful, if you like, as it was in summer. In summer, it would just be jam-packed with animals. Now, you come here, the drought flowers have wilted, the grass is dying, and there's just not as much plains game. But the cheetahs still love it. And she obviously found an impala, so she did very well. But look at the view we've got. It is long distance, but you can see from this angle, the little bananitos are feasting away very happily. I think from where we originally were, we couldn't see. The body of the impala was blocking the cubs, but look at them go. That's exactly why the jackal are not approaching. Otherwise, the jackal, they would be right in there. And you know, it's so wonderful to see little cheetah cubs. They've got a long way to go, but Madikwe has worked really hard with their sort of cheetah reintroductions and really trying to protect this species. There was an update the other day that currently there are 5 adult cheetah in Madikwe. There are the 2 pinda males who we've showed you, Splinter, who you know, the white tip female who Darby and I have definitely showed you, and this is the Ashia female, and she has 3 healthy cubs. Ah, there's Mama. Hello, Mama. Wondered where exactly you were. Ben, I know Madikwe has been Cub Central and it's just been action packed Central all round. Hello, Mama. We will get those brown hyena cubs again for you, by the way. We just pacing it out, pacing those long journeys, but we will.
We have a clear view of at least one elephant, and that is marvelous. And a very friendly elephant, that is. We had a very unfriendly elephant in camp today, the one known as Half Trunk, and he was causing quite a bit of mischief in the camp, pushing tents, and it was quite an ordeal to get him out of camp eventually. But eventually he left with no damage done. Don't know, he comes into camp, it's like his thing, to cause trouble. Renata wants to know if elephant bulls can be dominant bulls, even without tusks. Renata, it's unlikely that will happen, since the tusk is a major force multiplier for them to intimidate other bulls. And when it comes down to sheer physical combat, they're going to need those tusks. They'll have to be exponentially stronger than their opponents if they want to fight them in a battle. It will definitely be a handicap. Look, it's probably not impossible, but it's very unlikely. That is.
Hello, everybody. So I'd forgotten, of course, that on around about the 30th of April, we lost one of these lionesses. Well, we didn't. The Talamati pride lost, or Talamati breakaway pride lost one of their lionesses. So it is just the 2 adult lionesses, 4 semi-sub-adult cubs. I mean, there should be, 4 sub-adults. They are sub-adults, and they should be almost adults by now. And then the one little one. And the little one is, you're actually looking at it. He's there he is. He's just there behind that nose that you can see, enjoying the warmth of the grass and a comforting sibling. Very nice. Yeah, so around about 18 months old are the youngsters. And like I say, probably about 2/3 the size they're supposed to be. I'm hoping that they're going to get a little bigger. They certainly look slightly more solid than they did when I saw them last. I was last here in March. So with any luck, they will get a little bit more solid. It's also going to be my luck that these lions have decided now that they're going to do their leonine thing, and that is settle for 3 or 4 hours and do nothing. We are just going to have one last look at the lions of the Talamati breakaway pride as they abscond towards the south. I think they're going to cross the southern boundary, but we're not going to view them in the darkness because they are moving and they have a baby cub with them. There he is, there's a little cub. So there's no problem in shining the infrared light on him. The vulnerability comes from our movement behind him. And so we'll let him move off with the pride and we'll leave them be. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Isn't that the cutest thing you've ever seen? Walking down the road with Dad.
Well, everybody, we do thank you for joining us this afternoon on the Sunset Safari. It's been wonderful hosting you. Thank you for your questions, your comments, your feedback. Please do be sure to check in with James after this for his sketches and photos. But until tomorrow morning, have a blessed evening further. Until then, good night and goodbye.